Being an indie game developer is difficult. Not only do you need to make every single element well coded by oneself, including in-game, interface, and interesting sound effects, you also need to showcase these elements through levels. And that's why level designing is not just a piece of art, but a bar to limit its true potential, which is exactly what this creator overlooked. The game is called Apple, which is released by the most famous crasher out there, Patch. The levels are, well, honestly, mostly terrible, and yet Level 4 is infamously regarded as effortless, meaningless, and just weird. There's quite an evident reason for this. All these levels revolve around some sort of gimmick, like this one's about wall jumping, and that's about worms, and Level 4 is seemingly revolving around nothing. Why would this happen? Surely, such a well-known creator wouldn't dare to create this abomination left without answers, right? We'll have to date back to the 27th of September of 2020, where it all for the release. In fact, I'll just let you see.
Showcase this!
It's nice just to make sure that things are working as intended.
You guessed it, that thing that slopped with random stuff is version 1 of Level 4.
You guessed it. It's the one version of Level 4.
Sure, it's a bit different, but there's no doubt that's where it started. Back to the video first.
Checks that I can bounce on the heads, I can make gaps, I can fit down holes. All the different enemy types are working. Wall jumping, check. Squishing, checkpoints.
This can probably explain why the entire level is just so weird and doesn't have a natural idea. It's not even meant for playing. Then on the 21st of December, including tweak. First, the game's level, I assume, and so Patch decided to Level 4. Deliberate decision as an Easter egg.
Green level. Mario's game.
Made this deliberate decision.
LOL!
Stuff crammed into the
I
same
start
level.
branding
Took the beta
shit. There's a problem
Before we start, please
for
don't.
my bird.
This commentary is more from Disney.
Exactly. As we've noticed, Level 4 is twisted from a beta level, which, as Sentam has said, a bunch of random stuff crammed into the same level. For all of you wondering, ladies and gentlemen, why is it an issue in the first place? The more random, then the more fun and surprising. In Super Mario Bros. U, every single level is based on a main element, from the very first to the very end. It could be an enemy type, an interesting tile, a different gimmick, a literal style, or even just a power-up. Why would Nintendo do this a good Mario Maker stage? And here's what he said.
Easier to read for the player, and finally, limiting ourselves to only a couple of core ideas often helps not to get overwhelmed by all the possibilities in Mario Maker, and helps us to actually find out about all the amazing things possible by just mixing together
Oh,
a
this
couple.
is the designers. This is why you're designers.
Then what should Patch do? There's quite some approaches to this. First of which is what large dev teams would do. That is, just leave them alone somewhere in the game and time explain it.
I feel like those features should have been distributed throughout the levels. Maybe like having added a couple more levels might fix that issue.
Indeed, a lot of these unique elements were never further introduced throughout the main levels, and I'm sure there's a lot of creativity that belongs in the small amount of levels.
But Patch didn't do that. Instead, he took the beta level he made for that
Main
big
level.
Data area, or something else. You don't have to tweak it, or forcibly add stuff in, but it's a bonus for people who have successfully completed the game. All in all, Apple is a great game thanks to its level editor. If it hadn't existed, the cavity of Level 4 probably spreads more gloom than it currently had. Again, the game development is absolutely amazing, but he probably could have handled this better.
Yeah.